Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of College Ball with J Dog. Today I'm going to react to the college football playoff top 25. What are they doing, y'all? They show week in, week out. Strength of schedule don't mean a damn thing. So why should teams schedule hard opponents? And in the future, they're going to stop. Like right now, the SEC is going to non-conference games, but they still have to have a Power 4 team on their schedule. We'll talk about that when we get there, y'all. We got my top 12. I'm going to show you what my top 12 would look like compared to theirs. Who would be in my rankings compared to theirs. Danny White looking at some seats to Neyland Stadium. Another Oklahoma opponent brings up sign stealing. At a certain point, it's got to be true, where people want to keep talking about it. Then we're going to talk about McAfee or Portnoy. Which one do you like more? Today marks 8 years since Tennessee fired Bitch Jones. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Got a couple more things besides that, y'all. Let's get into it. Y'all do that YouTube stuff for me real quick. You know what it is. If you're not subscribed to the channel and you watch this video, please subscribe. I'm bringing you videos 5 days a week. Bringing you the knowledge. I appreciate everybody tunes in, everybody that did subscribe. Y'all hit that like button for me as well. Get in that comment section. Let's get into it, y'all. First thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the college football playoff rankings. Let's just say I'm not a fan. We'll start at the bottom. Cincinnati's in. Let's talk about the two that dropped out. You got Missouri and Washington. Both dropped out. Cincinnati's in. That's their first time in. South Florida's back in. In the coaches and the AP poll, James Madison was the highest ranked group of 5 team. They're 8-1. South Florida's 7-2. So as of right now, South Florida's in the playoff, y'all. Tennessee only moved up 2 spots to 23. Pittsburgh, 22. Iowa, 21. Iowa drops 1 spot, y'all. 1 spot for losing to Oregon. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Louisville at 20. Louisville barely fell. They fell what? 5 spots for losing to Cal. Virginia dropped 5 spots for losing to Wake Forest. Took me a second there. You got Michigan at 18. Southern Cal, 17. Georgia Tech, 16. Miami, 15. Miami at 15. Even though they're ranked 15th, they're the highest ranked ACC team. So they're in. Vanderbilt at 14. Utah 13. BYU 12. BYU got absolutely blasted by Texas Tech and only fell to 12. Oklahoma 11. Even though BYU and Oklahoma's ranked 11 and 12, they're not in the playoff, y'all. Texas is in at 10. Notre Dame 9. Oregon 8. Ole Miss 7. Texas Tech at 6. Texas Tech jumped 2 spots. They jumped over Ole Miss, which is crazy, y'all. That's absolutely nuts. Georgia, Bama, A&M, Indiana, Ohio State. All right. Let me tell you my gripes with this, y'all. My first gripe is Pittsburgh and Iowa staying above Tennessee. Which the Pittsburgh thing probably work itself out this week. They got Notre Dame. They beat Notre Dame. That's great. Either way, that's a win-win. Notre Dame loses, they're out of the playoffs. If Pitt loses, they're going to fall. Iowa dropping one spot, y'all, after losing to Oregon. It's like they gave them a participation trophy. I get it. They played great. They barely lost to Oregon. But you know how many times Tennessee loses games like that or even wins games like that and they drop? Last year, we beat Florida in overtime and dropped 3 spots. Last year, we lost to Georgia. We dropped 7 spots. Ohio State lost to Michigan, dropped 4 spots. Georgia was the top 4 team. Michigan was 5 and 6 at the time. So strength of schedule obviously don't mean shit. I mean, we're going to see it all through here. Strength of schedule does not mean a damn thing to this committee. Yet all they preached all offseason, how they got this new strength of schedule metric and strength of record. They don't give a damn about no strength of schedule or no strength of record. They just don't. If they did, Tennessee would be above Iowa. Iowa's 3 losses. Indiana, Oregon. That's 2 good losses. That's the number 2 and number 8. Then their other loss is the unranked Iowa State. Tennessee's 3 losses. Number 4, Bama. Number 5, Georgia. Number 11, Oklahoma. So basically, 3 top 10 teams is all Tennessee's lost to. But they're sitting at 23 and Iowa's sitting at 21. Make that make sense. Virginia and Louisville. With as weak as the ACC is, they should not be ahead of a team like Tennessee or even Iowa. Iowa's played tough competition. Louisville's best win is Miami. Virginia's best win, Louisville. Just because Virginia got that head-to-head, they're above Louisville. Both of them should be down. Iowa, Tennessee, and Pitt should be above. It's funny how some teams it matters when you lose and then other teams that don't. Like Notre Dame. They lost first 2 weeks of the season. They played cupcake schedule the rest of the year. They're sitting pretty at number 9. Like I said, the Pitt thing will take care of itself. Either they beat Notre Dame, knock Notre Dame out, or Notre Dame beats them, they fall back. Iowa plays USC this week. So they could fall. So just those 2 games alone could get Tennessee up to 21. Louisville plays Clemson. They drop that one, you're up to 20. It's very possible all 3 of those teams lose this week. Michigan at 18, really? They lost to USC. Georgia Tech's my biggest gripe. I know they got 1 loss. It's one of my bigger gripes. I know they got 1 loss, but they have avoided every top team in that conference. They don't have to play Virginia. Don't have to play Louisville. Don't have to play Miami. They've literally just had to play Clemson. And they should have 2 losses because the rest gave them the Wake Forest game. Wake Forest has been a pretty decent team this year. Florida State beat the shit out of them, but besides that, they played everybody pretty close. Vanderbilt's sitting at 14. Don't sit right with me either. With the schedule that Vanderbilt's played, they should be above Utah for sure. Because Utah plays in the Big 12. The Big 12 has Utah, BYU, Texas Tech. That's it. Vanderbilt should be sitting at 12 right now. Vandy should not be behind BYU or Utah. The strength of schedule's got to matter, y'all. It just does. If it don't, then you're going to quit getting good out of conference games. Just like Matt Rule said when they canceled their game with us next year. Why play it when the committee don't give a damn about strength of schedule? Then the committee comes out this year, oh, we care about strength of schedule this year, y'all. We really do. We care about it. No, the hell you don't. You sure don't. If you did, Ole Miss wouldn't be behind Texas Tech. Tennessee wouldn't be behind Pittsburgh, Louisville, Virginia. Georgia Tech wouldn't be ahead of USC, Michigan, Tennessee. Georgia Tech's tough out of conference game was Colorado. And they tried to lose that game. But Georgia Tech still got Georgia, y'all, so they will get another loss by the end of the year. Trying to remember who all these teams play this week. I think Texas Tech should be ranked in the top 10. Absolutely. Texas Tech probably wouldn't even have a loss if their quarterback stayed healthy. But unfortunately, that's football. Just like when Hooker was here and we finished 6th behind Alabama, even though the committee said, oh, we care about head-to-head. Like in this one. You got Virginia above Louisville. Why? Because Virginia beat Louisville. You got Texas above Oklahoma. Why? Because Texas beat Oklahoma. But that year, Hooker got hurt, so they said, well, we don't think Tennessee's quite as good without Hooker, even though we went out and beat Vandy like 42-10 or something that game. We're not sure they're the same team, so Bama finished 5th. We finished 6th. There's got to be a certain set of criteria they got to go. It can't change every single year. Because nobody knows what they need to do to impress them. And you don't get your first rankings until what, week 11? At that point, what, there's 4 or 5 weeks left of the season? Texas A&M. They should be above Indiana, y'all. Yes, Indiana has all these great, impressive 50-point wins against nobody. When Indiana's played tough competition, they've won by 5, 3, 10. They beat Oregon by 10, beat Iowa by 5, and beat a 3-6 Penn State team by 3 off of a last-second touchdown. Texas A&M's only had like 2 close games all year. They got 3 top 25 road wins. But yeah, Indiana's still sitting in front of them. There's a lot of Big 12 and Big 10 bias in this college football committee, y'all. A lot of Big 12 bias and a lot of Big 10 bias. The Big 12 should not have 3 teams ranked in the top 12. Because only one of them has any chance to make any noise in the playoffs. And that's Texas Tech. And that's because Texas Tech's spending a fortune to try to compete at the top level. Besides that, none of them Big 12 rosters have a blue chip ratio even close to 50%. So why are they getting rewarded for playing in a bad conference and being ranked above a 7-2 Vandy team? It's got wins over Missouri, Auburn, and oh yeah, Texas at 10, y'all. It's like the committee completely forgot that Texas got beat by a 3-6 Florida team. That was one more gripe I have. Yes, they won the head-to-head with Oklahoma, but they should not be ranked ahead of Oklahoma. Oklahoma has losses to Texas and Ole Miss. Texas losses to Ohio State and 3-6 Florida. So whose resume is better at that point? Oklahoma's is. Right here it is. Texas lost to a 3-6 team who was beaten 38-7 by Kentucky on Saturday. Prepared for the college football playoff committee to totally and completely disregard that game again tonight and have the Longhorns in the top 10. And look where they're at. While simultaneously ripping Miami for daring to lose in overtime to a 7-3 SMU team. That's what I'm saying. Nobody knows what you've got to do to impress these committees. It shouldn't be a different criteria every single season. They should have metrics. They should have some analytics, some computer numbers, strength of schedule, strength of record. The eye test should not be that big into the rankings. And that's what they'll say. They say, oh, well, Notre Dame passes the eye test. Well, yeah, they do, but they also got 2 losses. Oh, Miami lost their 2 games later in the season. Notre Dame lost theirs early in the season. 2 losses, 2 losses. It shouldn't matter when you lose. What do y'all think about the ranking? Y'all think the committee got it close to right? Or do y'all think they completely screwed it up like I do? I think they completely screwed it up. I think Vandy and the AP, the coaches, and the college football playoff polls have been disrespected all year. They're freaking 7-2 with a pretty decently tough schedule. And they're getting absolutely no love from the playoff committee, nobody. They're behind the 10-2 Utah team that has a 32-point loss to Texas Tech. Behind BYU has a 22-point loss to Texas Tech, but it's really 29 because Texas Tech gave them a garbage touchdown at the end of the game. Who else did Utah lose to? Arizona State? No, Arizona State beat Texas Tech. I mean, I can't make it make sense, y'all. If I was the committee, this would be my top 12 right here. You got South Florida, Miami, Vandy, Oklahoma, Texas Tech at 8, not at 5. They should not be above Oregon, Ole Miss. No way in hell should they be above either one of them. 7 Oregon, 6 Ole Miss, 5 Georgia, 4 Bama, 3 Indiana, 2 Texas A&M, 1 Ohio State. And really, I say Texas A&M's probably got the best resume to be number 1, but until the champs lose, they're the champs. I'm keeping them at number 1. So whose top 12 do y'all think looks better? The committee has Miami at 11. I'd put Miami in. I wouldn't have Miami at 11. But they're in because they're an ACC team, y'all. South Florida's in. And I got Vandy, Oklahoma. They got Texas and who else? Who's just looking at it? Y'all think my top 12 is better or the playoff committee's top 12 is better? I think mine's better by a damn long shot. So, of course, I do because it's mine. let's take a look at the strength of schedules for these top 12 teams, y'all. South Florida sitting at 54, which they scheduled Florida, Miami. Hats off to them. Miami's 39. Texas, 13. Texas has a good strength of schedule. Notre Dame's I don't have in. Notre Dame's strength of schedule is 30. Their strength of schedule since week 2 is probably in the 60s or 70s. Oregon, 24. Ole Miss, 32. Ole Miss got a damn good job in the SEC, y'all. Texas Tech, 48. But yet they're above Ole Miss and Oregon in the rankings. Georgia 11, Alabama 6, A&M 15, and the top 2 teams is 33 and 41. So I'm saying strength of schedule does not matter. It's wins and losses and when you lose. That's all the committee gives a damn about. And that's sad. Because like I said, some of these 6-3 teams are better than some of these 7-2 teams. On a neutral field, some of these 6-3 teams will be favored, and some of the 7-2 teams will be favored over some of the 8-1 teams. Georgia Tech, almost every one of these 7-2 teams in this poll would be favored over 8-1 Georgia Tech on a neutral field. Maybe even at Georgia Tech. Let's keep it moving, y'all. Danny White wants to expand Neyland Stadium's capacity. Well, when he first come in, he took away about 100 seats. We're still at like 101,000, I think 101,095, something like that. He's looking to expand the capacity of Neyland Stadium. We've got 30,000 people on the waiting list for season tickets, y'all. 30,000 people, basically. And you can't give them all the season ticket holders because then the general public don't get to buy any and then they're pissed off. Which ticket prices at Neyland about priced out the average fan anyway. And I've heard that Neyland's not quite as loud as it used to be this year. I don't know. I haven't went. But if it ain't, it's because you damn near got to be rich to go to a game. But, like I said, I don't care if they charge $1,000 a seat as long as we win. I'd much rather tickets be $300 or $400 a piece and us win than it'll be $40 or $50 and us suck. But you can't have ticket prices that high and us be going 6 and 6, 7 and 5 every year either. Which I don't see that happening with Heupel. I'm just saying. So look for Tennessee to try to add some more seats. Not to help out the regular fan. To help out season ticket holders and let the school make more money. But hey, like I said, as long as we're winning, you're bringing in the players, you got the coach. Charge all you want to. But if you start losing, the ticket prices better come down. That's all I got to say. I'm all for it as long as we're winning, y'all. Today is a happy day, Tennessee fans. 8 years ago, Tennessee got rid of Bitch Jones. A.D. John Curry made the final decision to fire Jones after a 50-17 loss to Missouri. So, I hope his family packed up and left town brick by brick, y'all. The Butch Jones era was one of hope for a little while. And then you've seen it in big games over and over and over again. That he just got outcoached and outcoached and outcoached. The moment I was done was 2015, I think it was. No, 2016. One of those years we played Florida, Arkansas, Oklahoma. And we had a 17-point lead in all three of those games and lost every one of them. We was the only team in the country that had lost the game that had a 17-point lead, and we had lost three. Baker Mayfield come back. We all know that story. They beat us in overtime. Then we have Florida down 17-0. They come back and beat us. I think it was the 4th and 13 that went 62 yards to Callaway for Florida. And then Brett Belima, we was on 17 on them, and they come back and beat us at Arkansas. That's when I knew. But then I still got my hopes up in 2016. Started 5-0 after the Hail Mary to Jennings. Then we got our shit. We got beat in overtime by A&M after Malik Foreman chased that running back down, punched the ball out right before he crossed the line. Take it to overtime. Dobbs throws an interception on first down. A&M beats us. Then the next week, Alabama beats the shit out of us. Kiffin was the offensive coordinator. He ran the read option with Hurts all day long. Hurts just ran around the edge and freaking killed us. Then we was like, hey, all we got to do is beat Vandy and South Carolina. We're going to be in the Rose Bowl. Possibly even the SEC championship game. Not the Rose Bowl, the Sugar Bowl. What do? Lose to South Carolina. Well, okay. We still just got to beat Vandy, and we're in the damn Sugar Bowl. Lost to Vandy, too. He kept his job after that. Then after he lost Dobbs and Kamara and all them guys, laid a stinker, went 4-8. Georgia beat us 41-0 at home. Missouri beat us 50-17. It was a terrible year. Barely beat UMass that year. And UMass is always terrible. Should have really been 3-9, but we had a miracle comeback against Georgia Tech first game of the year on a Monday night. They ran for almost 500 yards on us, and we somehow won in double overtime or overtime. They went for 2, and we stopped it after they ran for 500 yards. So if anything, at least be grateful today that Butch Jones, Derek Dooley, and Jeremy Pruitt are not the coach at Tennessee anymore, y'all. We do have something to be grateful for. I disagree with this thing right here, by the way. Brooks Austin, I like Brooks Austin. He's the film guy on YouTube. He said, fact you won't like, Notre Dame would have an annually easier path to the college football playoff bid if they joined either the Big 12 or the ACC. They'd probably have an easier path if they joined the Big 12. Not quite sure the ACC. If some of them ACC teams get their shit together, the ACC could be a decent conference. But nobody can ever be up together. You got Florida State come up for a year, Clemson's down. You got Clemson running forever, Miami, Florida State, all them guys are down. Now Miami's trying to come up. They always fuck around, mess around and lose a couple games. Virginia Tech's been down. If a couple of them powerhouses from the ACC could all get up together, the ACC would definitely be the third best conference. Right now, I'm not so sure they are. Them and the Big 12 are both pretty damn weak, but yet they're getting all kinds of love by the College Football Playoff Committee. And of course, the Big 10 is. The SEC might have the most ranked teams, but our guys are getting disrespected because strength of schedule, once again, doesn't mean a damn thing. I disagree with that. What do y'all think? Do y'all like Pat McAfee or Dave Portnoy better? Fox brought in Dave Portnoy to kind of be their McAfee on Big Noon Kickoff. I like Portnoy. I like his little pizza reviews. I like Barstool. But Portnoy could not hold McAfee's jockstrap. Believe it or not, McAfee started off on Barstool. But McAfee is head and heels above Dave Portnoy when it comes to football. Why? Because Pat McAfee actually knows football. McAfee's fun. McAfee does fun stuff. McAfee's just very entertaining. Dave's entertaining, but not like McAfee. So who do y'all like better, Pat McAfee or Dave Portnoy? Me personally, I love McAfee. McAfee saved College Game Day without Corso there. 100% saved game day without Corso. Without McAfee on there, most people wouldn't even watch anymore. I mean, you might tune in and see who they pick, but really, McAfee makes the whole show now. So what's y'all's opinion? Y'all like McAfee better or Portnoy better? Last thing I want to talk about. Alabama OC Ron Grubbs says there's nothing illegal about Oklahoma's perceived sign stealing, but the tide will be changing everything when it plays the Sooners. They've got to be stealing signs, y'all. And come to think of it, a couple of those interceptions Aguilar threw, it's like they knew exactly where he's going with the ball. But it is what it is. Y'all think it's a big deal that all these coaches keep talking about Oklahoma stealing signs? I mean, Michigan just got in trouble for it, but that's because they were sending people to watch games, all that. I just don't believe Oklahoma can get all these signs off a game tape. That just don't make no sense. And everybody seems to be saying that every week they play Oklahoma now. So that Oklahoma's so good on defense because they know your signals. And now everybody's having to change their signals going into the Oklahoma game, which I'm sure is hard to get all your guys to remember all new signals in 1 week. So what do y'all think about that? Do y'all think it's nothing that Oklahoma's stealing signs? Or do y'all think it's something? All these coaches seem to think it's something because they keep saying, oh, it might not be illegal, but we're changing their signs, or oh, we know they're doing it. They wouldn't keep talking about it if they thought it wasn't a big deal. They'd have just let it go after Lane Kiffin said something. But every week a coach says something about it. So obviously the coaches are trying to bring it to the attention of the people that matter, is what I think. It's like when the Michigan stuff happened. I think SEC coaches are trying to get Greg Sankey to try to look into it and see what they're doing. Do y'all think that, or do y'all think it's just gamesmanship and coaches just talking to talk? I think all these coaches are saying it, so Greg Sankey will be like, well, I better look into it because my coaches keep bringing it up. They obviously don't like it. What do y'all think? I'm going to wrap this one up today, y'all. Tomorrow I got my Week 12 predictions, best bets, upset picks, all that good stuff. There'll be more than that on the show. I got me some new lights coming. Got me a new microphone. Y'all let me know if the sound quality is better on this video. I appreciate all y'all tuning in. Y'all give me y'all's thoughts on the college football playoff rankings. If you think mine's better, theirs are better, what's your gripes with it? I'm sure everybody has different gripes than what I got. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you ain't subscribed, please hit that bell for me. Subscribe to the channel. Get in that comment section. Smash that like button. Thank y'all. God bless you. And go Vols.